Some players become legends quietly, through results and leaderboards that speak for themselves. And then there's Daniel Negreanu, who did everything out loud, lost publicly, argued with the entire poker world, made mistakes on camera, and still became one of the most decorated and recognized players in the history of this game. You just watched the Ivy story, how he tried to fight the system and lost the battle for trust. Negreanu was in the exact same storm, same poker room, same Black Friday collapse, same public fire. But where Ivy chose confrontation, Negreanu chose something else. And that difference is exactly why his story ends differently. Let's start with the story he tells himself without sugarcoating it. 1996. Daniel is a 22-year-old kid from Toronto, son of Romanian immigrants. He packs $3,000, gets in a car, and drives to Las Vegas because he's convinced he's the best player alive. A few months later, zero. He calls his parents and asks for money. They send it. He loses that too. This isn't one bad night. This is an entire stretch of his life where he's borrowing money, sleeping on couches, and sitting back down at tables because poker is the only thing he knows and the only thing he wants. Most people at that point go home. He stayed, started playing smaller, sharper, hungrier. And out of those empty pockets grew the player who in 1998 won his first WSOP bracelet at just 23 years old. The second setback wasn't one moment. It was years of being underestimated. The nickname Kid Poker wasn't handed to him as a compliment. Serious players saw a young loudmouth from Canada who smiled too much and understood too little. In the late 90s and early 2000s, being young at the poker table was a liability, not an asset. People treated him like entertainment, not a threat. And that's exactly what he used against them. While everyone was busy underestimating the cheerful Canadian, he was reading the table, collecting information, and destroying people with their own arrogance. 6 WSOP bracelets, 2 WPT titles, and Player of the Decade by GPI. That's the answer to everyone who ever saw him as just a shillman. The third defeat came in 2011, and it had nothing to do with cards. Negreanu was the face of Full Tilt Poker, one of its biggest ambassadors, and when the platform collapsed, his name ended up next to a story where $400 million in player funds just vanished. He wasn't an owner. He wasn't making financial decisions. But for hundreds of thousands of people, that distinction didn't matter. He was the face, and the face takes the heat. This was the first time he felt what fame really costs. It's not just applause, it's a target on your back that everyone can see. After that, he became a lot more careful about whose name he put his name next to. The fourth failure is his very public wars with the poker community. Wars he started himself, more than once. Negreanu never knew how to stay quiet. He openly criticized the GTO approach, called solver-based players robots with no instinct, and got hit back with a wave of breakdowns where top coaches and players dismantled his game move by move. His Twitter battles with other pros went viral every few months. Every loud opinion became an invitation for a new attack. But here's the irony. That same loudness made him the most recognizable poker player in the world outside of the poker community. People who have never seen a flop know the name Daniel Negreanu. He turned his inability to shut up from a weakness into an entire brand. And the fifth loss, the most painful one, because it happened completely in public. 2020. Doug Polk, one of Negreanu's sharpest critics and a heads-up specialist, challenges him to a match. 25,000 hands, one-on-one. Negreanu accepts publicly, spends months preparing, hires coaches, puts in the work. Final result, down $1.2 million. Every single session was streamed live. Thousands of people watched in real time as he lost hand after hand, session after session.
Negreanu won that huge pot with the 4-bet and the triple barrel bluff.
Sure. Might have been some significant deviation there. Meanwhile, we see Negreanu open-ended, not putting any additional chips into the pot up against this middle pair on the flop.
1,500.
Might have an old man speeding situation again, as Doug checked 3 streets and sniffed it out.
Old man speeding.
A lot of speeding today. I don't know about this.
You know, I like to drive fast.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could win if I checked.
That's probably true. But you also didn't win if you bet. You bet.
That's a problem.
This wasn't just a defeat, it was a public dismantling, with memes, live commentary, and breakdowns running simultaneously. He could have gone quiet, disappeared, pretended it never happened. Instead, he sat down, admitted the loss with zero excuses, and said clearly, Doug was better. Full stop. And that moment, not the bracelets, not the titles, showed exactly what Negreanu is actually made of. Here's what's really behind the smile, the trash talk, and the endless fan selfies. Empty pockets at 22 in a city that didn't care about him. Years of being treated like a joke. A scandal that burned him with someone else's fire. Public wars he lit himself. And $1.2 million lost on a live stream in front of the whole poker world. The answer is simple, and at the same time it is the most difficult in poker. He never lied to himself. Ivy built a career on secrecy. He was silent when he won. He was silent when he lost. He was silent when a lawsuit was filed against him for $10 million. Silence was his weapon, until it became a cage. Negreanu chose the opposite. He talked about every defeat. I analyzed every mistake on the stream. Every -million was explained to subscribers on YouTube, calmly, hand in hand, without trying to look smarter than he was at the time of the decision. And that's the key. In poker, everyone knows how to win on camera. Few people know how to play on camera, so that after that, they respect you even more. Look at what he did after the match with the regiment. Most players in his place would have gone into the shadows for at least a year. We would have locked ourselves in with the coaches, rewrote our game in silence, and returned only when we were sure of a rematch. This is a reasonable way, safe, and that's why it's not his. Negreanu went on the air the next day. He sat down in front of the camera and said, "I don't understand this game as well as I thought," without acting. No excuses about variance, bad map, unsuccessful setup. He just admitted that in 2020, Heads Up went to a place where he didn't have time for it. And do you know what happened next? Subscribers of his channel have grown. The sponsors remained. GG Poker signed him to a multi-million-dollar contract a few months after he publicly lost $1.2 million. It's statistically strange, as long as you don't understand the logic. People don't pay for invincibility. People pay for honesty. Ivy tried to look like a machine. Negreanu has always been a human being, and that's why millions of people felt he was playing for them. There is another detail that is often overlooked. Negreanu is the only top player of his generation who voluntarily opened his finances. He said that he closed the year 2022 at -1.1 million, that 2023 was a tough year. The fact that the High Roller Series is not about brilliance, but about the ability to survive 6 months of disadvantages in a row without breaking down. No other player of this level does this. No one shows their real schedules. No one admits that they are in the black at the end of their lives, but in the red at the end of a particular year. He shows it. And this transparency did something to his reputation that 10 more bracelets would not have done. It transformed him from a successful poker player to the only honest poker player. Negreanu realized before others that trust in this game is not bought by results. It is bought by the willingness to be vulnerable when it is more profitable to be closed. He played the loudest, and that's why he became the one who was trusted the most. This isn't a perfect career. It's the career of a man who knows how to fall hard and get up even louder. If you made it this far, drop one word in the comments, Negreanu. Just that one word. I want to see how many people here actually follow this game. Hit like if this hit different. It helps the algorithm push this to the people who need to see it. And subscribe, because next video we're not talking about living legends anymore. We're breaking down how one single night at a poker table can change a person's life forever. A story you have definitely never heard.